You sure you want to do this?
No, but it's better than everyone online saying it was all my fault. Because it wasn't. Right?
You're too hard on yourself.
Maybe. I hate that people online aren't even getting the story right, you know? They weren't there. They only know bits and pieces because no comedian can say anything without podcasting it. And yes, Kevin, I see the irony.
It's not your responsibility to get the truth out there.
I just want the whole story on one feed, in order and in context. Maybe then people will get it right. Let's do this.
Okay. Intro, take 1.
Hi, my name is Anne-Marie Buchanan. I'm a comedian in New York City. You may know me from Netflix, Hulu, the Unasked for DMs podcast, or from the news, because of Dean Blackshaw. The news called him the most racist, misogynistic comedian in America. I called him my friend. And this is how I was involved in his death. This is Dean's Killer Joke. Episode 1, Setup. I've been doing comedy for 10 years, but it wasn't until about 8 months ago that it was really starting to go well for me. I saw a woman pass out in front of Penn Station. Obvious drug overdose, wouldn't move, couldn't open her eyes. I was scared. The second cops arrived, she pops back up, says she's fine, walks 2 blocks, sets up shop, and starts selling pants. I went from being scared to being inspired in 5 minutes. I'm wearing the pants now, they're great. That's my time. I'm Anne-Marie Buchanan, you've been great. That night at a small New York City comedy club, Dean was backstage waiting to do his own set. We'd been friends for years at that point, but we couldn't have been more different.
You better bring that heat to my podcast tomorrow.
Dean, please take it easy on me, okay? Your podcast gets too crazy for me.
I'm telling you, that's why it'll be a great episode. Your cornbread, backwoods, milquetoast values, blushing at my dark, sophisticated, and, twisted charisma. It's fucking gold.
It's anxiety-inducing.
I can't wait.
Dean Blackshaw's story starts off like most comics, in a dysfunctional family. His parents were divorced, they fought a lot, yada yada yada, whose parents didn't. They lived in the whitest of white suburbs of Long Island, New York. He fell in love with comedy mainly through the Sarah Silverman program, Chappelle's Show, and South Park. Basically, he loved shock humor.
Hey, Anne-Marie, I can post that set online, right?
That's Kevin. You heard him earlier. He's my podcast producer / new assistant. You think it's good enough to go viral?
Is that all you care about now? Going viral?
Yes, we can't all be doing comedy for the love of comedy. I want to get on Colbert. He's the hot Jesus-loving dad that I want approval from.
Whoa, wait. Do you think your dad is hot?
I don't see it, but peer-reviewed studies don't lie. St. Thomas 2005 youth group loved that man.
He is pretty cool.
He hates you.
I know. Makes me like him.
Right?
Speaking of hot, yes, this video will go viral.
You mean because I look hot in it?
Whoa, Kevin.
Wait, I mean, it's hot like it's got trending potential.
I guess he only works with me so he can sleep with me.
What a Weinstein.
Hold on, Anne-Marie, you know that's not what I meant. I was just trying to get back to my question. I was doing my job. Oh my, you assholes. I was seeing Me Too headlines.
You're too easy. Why are you so psycho about stuff like that?
I hold my nuts in fear of cancel culture. You guys should be too.
I don't have nuts.
Nuh-uh. You weren't assigned with nuts at birth.
That was almost woke.
And now, please welcome the very funny Dean Blackshaw.
I'm up.
Break a leg.
Hello. You guys look like a good crowd. I think you can take it. I think you're ready. I'm gonna make a molestation joke right now.
Watching Dean on stage was fun. He always teetered the line between funny and offensive. And usually, he'd win the crowd over.
You're gonna like it. It's gonna touch you in all the right places.
As far as he was concerned, if they didn't laugh, then fuck them. It was part of the job. Besides, these days, comedy fans know about the craft enough to let a comic swing a few misses. They see comedians as people now. Fucked up people, but people nonetheless. It's thanks to podcasts that we're more than just a 5-second clip of a bad joke. And Dean's podcast, A Joke's a Joke, was a good example of that. People appreciated how raw and personal he was on the pod. And as apprehensive as I was that night in the green room, I was happy to be on it again, even if it got a little real.
Yeah, for sure, it's definitely a sad situation, but she's my sister. I love her. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, of course. Dean's sister Rebecca lives in an assisted living home in New Jersey. She's been there ever since a car accident left her severely cognitively impaired. This is the Dean that podcast audiences related to, rooted for. Yeah, he was a guy that poked fun at things that aren't fun. That's his style of comedy. But it wasn't all he was. What's it like when you visit her?
It's fine. I mean, we had a good day yesterday until the nurses took her away and had to help her use the bathroom. That's rough, you know?
Like it was a rough shit?
Yeah, like, hey, what are you feeding her here? Can't we get this bitch some fiber? No, I just hate seeing her so helpless. You know, we used to ride bikes together and, like, play outside and beat the shit out of each other, and now I just feel like shit. Because when I'm at the center, I just become this scared little kid that doesn't know what to do. I don't know how to take care of her.
People were drawn to Dean because he was honest about his shortcomings. He showed other misfits that it was okay to wear your heart on your sleeve. He just shielded it with offensive jokes. I'm sorry.
It is what it is. You know, it's rough, but can't do much about it. At least the home is good to her. They're nice and kind, and they keep her safe, give her the therapy she needs, and they even help me out with payments. They're not even going to charge me this month until I get paid for that Boston gig.
I'm so excited for that. Are you doing your current hour?
Some of that stuff, some old stuff. I'm doing all the hits.
Are you doing the candy store bit?
Oh, yeah, that old.
This Boston gig was the biggest crowd and paycheck of his career.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Dean Blackshaw.
Hey, what's up, assholes? Come on, let me hear it. Oh, yeah, give it to me. Give it to me.
Dean was on fire that night. Every joke, every tag, it all landed perfectly. People were falling out of their seats. And then he said the joke. Listen, I'd let you hear it, but Kevin suggested that I beep it. We don't want to trigger anyone.
You know, you're walking around saying, hi, hey, how you doing? And then... Oh, come on. You know you're supposed to laugh at these things, right? It's a comedy show. Come on. No.
And that's when Dean's big break became his biggest mistake. And, of course, it was caught on video, which then went everywhere.
Video of Dean Blackshaw making obscene remarks
Dean Blackshaw's career in shambles as the public reacts to his now viral video.
The hashtag Blackshaw is over party has been trending on
No
social
comment.
media due to a video
Fucking
of a
assholes
popular
won't leave me
podcast
alone.
hosting comedian saying an offensive
I know
joke
your
on
home is
stage at a
Anne-Marie.
stand-up show.
Fine.
Reached out to Blackshaw's agents for a comment. They say they are no longer represented.
Dude, I'm freaking out!
Why? What's wrong?
Well, global warming, politics, my home state of Florida is constantly mocked and not totally wrongfully so, and oh yeah, you were fucking canceled.
Psh, it's fine.
People are really pissed.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the status quo. I've pissed people off my whole career.
I'm worried about you. Do you want me to say something?
What are you gonna say? Dean has been a great friend of mine, and I'm a woman. He has woman friends. Actually, are you 100% white? Having someone with a little color on my side could help.
Dean, I'm so sorry this is happening. There's gotta be some way I can help.
Stop. Your career's finally going somewhere. You just quit your day job, right?
Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
Don't fuck up that momentum by defending little old me. It's going to be okay. Trust me.
Broken eggs dripped down Dean's window.
Breakfast.
Dean's brave face in the beginning of all this was short-lived. He lost a deal he had with HBO and his podcast sponsors. Clubs were canceling his shows because of death threats. His career was over. And he couldn't ignore that.
I'm telling you, I'm done.
Bro, come on.
That's Austin Cooper on Dean's podcast. He's a very funny comedian and Dean's old roommate. A common roast of Austin is that he's too much of a jock to be a good comic. He's chiseled and probably full of steroids, but goddammit, he's good on stage. As someone that turned to comedy because I was a nerdy horse girl that didn't grow into my looks until, well, now, at 28, it pisses me off. Anyway, he, like a lot of comics, defended Dean.
We're comedians. We throw shit out there. Do you think Lenny Bruce would care about being canceled? That guy fought the Supreme Court.
Oh, kiss my ass with Lenny Bruce. What a joke. You could beat your wife and become president back then. A lot of them did.
You don't know what's happening in the White House these days. I bet Biden could still throw down. That old man rage, you know?
Not every comic was on Dean's side, though. For instance, here's what Jack Gornez said on his podcast, Just Jacking It.
I don't think Dean will ever go on stage again. And I hate agreeing with the social justice warriors online, but I don't know if he should. I love Dean like a brother, but I gotta be honest.
A lot of people agreed with Jack on that one. However, Dean did his first post-cancellation show a month after going viral.
Damn! You think my name ended with Steen the way you're reacting? Fuck! No! I meant like Weinstein and Epstein, those really bad people. Not just Jewish people. God damn it, I love the Jews.
He tried one or two jokes before he gave the crowd what they wanted and left. This was when Dean really started acting different. He was jittery, always looking over his shoulder. And his podcast was getting dark. And not funny dark like usual. Alarming dark.
Jeez, Gornez was right, huh? I haven't had a show that bad since I was a fucking open micer. Hey, I got a tweet from a guy named Kyle yesterday. Let me find it. It says, "Oh, don't show your face in my town or we'll cut you." Well, I was in your town, Kyle. I didn't get cut. That probably would have gotten a laugh. Nothing else is. Oh, what are other people saying here? Oh, this guy says, "Kill yourself before I get to you." Bring it, kid. I got a gun that I don't know how to use, so it'll be fun.
I can't blame him for spiraling. He was getting more hate in a month than most people do in their whole career.
Go on vacation and get away from all this shit, bro.
Yeah, I'll just get away. Yeah. It's coming straight into my phone, Austin. Every time this thing vibrates, it's another reminder that I fucked everything up.
Shut the phone off. Give it to me. I'll change all your social media passwords right now.
It doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't. You know what? I'm sorry, America. I fucked up. I fucked up. I will do better. I promise you I'll do better, please.
No matter how much he apologized, he was canceled for good. And he wouldn't lay low until the scandal passed either. He continued to do small, low-profile sets around Manhattan. Every now and then he'd get a laugh, but from what I'm told, it was mostly crickets. Uncomfortable crickets that just felt sad watching a man cling to his career. That's how it felt anyway when I saw him at Mahogany's, a small club on the Lower East Side. It was 4 months or so after the Boston gig. He was part of a lineup that included me, Austin, Jack, and a couple of other comics. Dean did a quick 10-minute set with old jokes that usually killed.
This is a molestation joke. You're gonna like it. It's gonna really touch you in the right place. That's not funny.
But he didn't get a single laugh. He came into the green room backstage completely hopeless, thinking that audiences would never forgive him. I wish I could say that the other comics and I gave him a big hug and supported him, but comedians, we're not always great with emotions.
At least no one expects you to look good anymore. Just let yourself go.
Oh, trust me, I've been binge eating for weeks.
Jack, you don't have any drugs to help the guy out?
Nah, you gotta pay for the good stuff.
Jack passed a liquor bottle to Austin,
I think a drug problem is just what you need, bro.
who then passed the bottle to Carla Staworski, a comic who hides her dirty jokes behind her housewife looks.
If it wasn't for the kids, I would be knee-deep in heroin.
Frank Tasca, a real killer comedian, grabbed the bottle from Carla and pointed it at Kenny, a young up-and-comer.
Kenny, I feel like you never touched drugs in your life.
Lexapro, Adderall.
We get it. You're in therapy.
Adderall, now that shit was big in prison. You sneak that in, take it before you hit the weights, you're jacked in 2 weeks. All you jack is your dick.
And it weighs a ton. Whew, real girthy, you know?
Ugh, gross.
Everyone laughed except for Dean, despite his fake smile. Like I said, comics aren't good with emotions. It's why we drink and break each other's balls. We should have asked our friend what was going on in his head, but we swallowed everything down. The liquor made its way to me. I took a swig and offered the bottle to Dean. No one is canceling you in here. Have fun. Just for a night.
Fine. Give that to me.
All right, there you go, buddy. Drink, drink, drink.
Hey, we won't cancel you, but I may Me Too you.
Jesus Christ.
So we got drunk. Real drunk.
Kenny, I think if somebody handed you a bag of Coke, you'd sprinkle it on your fucking waffles.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
I don't really remember what happened after that. I wished I did. We all wish we did. Maybe then we'd have some answers. Because the next afternoon, while recording my podcast, I got the worst phone call of my life.
Welcome, everyone. This is Unasked for DMs with me, Michelle, and
I'm pretty sure I'm dying.
my dying co-host.
Why are you always so loud?
Okay, I know you're hungover, but we gotta stay on brand. Check out this dick pic.
A two-toner.
Do you think the darker part is where he jerks off and the lighter part is virgin soil?
It really goes into the other color perfectly. God spent time blending those shades together.
Like, dick pics are the ultimate unasked for DM, but this one's interesting.
Yeah, he's not hitting on you. He thought you'd get a kick out of it.
I mean, he's sort of right.
Austin Cooper's calling me. Should I answer on the pod?
Yeah, our listeners love toxic masculinity.
Austin, you're on me and Michelle's podcast. She's throwing shade.
I love you.
Maybe I should call back.
No, it's fine. We were just looking at dicks. Hey, what time did you leave Mahogany's last night?
I was gonna ask you the same thing. This isn't live, right? I've got bad news.
What happened?
Dean's dead.
What?
They found his body in Mahogany's green room this morning.
Austin, that's not funny.
Why would I joke about that?
Because you're a sociopath.
Michelle.
No. Fuck that. I don't believe it.
Look, I just found an article. Dean Blackshaw, dead at Mahogany's. The disgraced comedian was found with a bullet wound to the head. Oh my god.
No. What the fuck?
We all processed the news in different ways. Austin was closed off, already in macho trying to control the horrible situation mode. I was in shock. It just didn't feel real. And Michelle? Well, Michelle was how she usually was. She was a lot.
This is fucking bullshit. How fucking dare he?
Michelle, can you please?
No. How can he just go and off himself?
No one said he did. There was no gun at the scene. It's not like he shot himself and then got up and threw the gun in the lake.
Did they check the security cameras?
Turns out their cameras don't record anything.
Excuse me?
They're just for show. The owner didn't want to pay for the whole system.
Johnny always was a cheap fuck.
Anne-Marie, how late were you there last night? You didn't see anyone sketchy?
Everyone in New York looks sketchy to me. Besides, I blacked out.
What about the staff? They didn't see anything?
They all went home by the time we started drinking.
So all we got is the word of a bunch of drunk, degenerate comics. You assholes couldn't just drink a little less?
Fuck you!
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean... Sorry.
I thought those guys threatening him on Twitter were all talk.
There's no way it was one of those dickless beta trolls. They wouldn't have been able to get in anyway. Dean was all OCD about keeping the doors locked last night, remember?
Someone could have broken in?
The door guy at the club said there were no signs of a break-in. He's been texting me updates.
So then it had to be one of you guys, right?
What?
He was locked in a room with all of you. The staff was gone. He wasn't letting any randos in. Who else is there?
I don't know. Everyone on staff with a key? A crazy guy? Hannah Gatsby? Not one of his friends?
Wait, hold on. Shit.
What?
The door guy just texted me.
And?
It's a picture of the note they found at the crime scene.
A note? Like for a suicide?
This isn't his handwriting. The notes he used to leave on our fridge were barely legible.
What does it say?
It says, for the joke.
Anne-Marie!
Hello? You guys still there?
I dropped my phone and ran out of there. I couldn't. It was too much. I made it out to the street outside our recording studio before my knees caved in. Cabs and tourists spun around me. It took a while for me to catch my breath. Someone killed Dean. I couldn't believe it. Once the city stopped moving, I went back inside and we called it a day. We obviously didn't air the call from Austin. Wasn't exactly fun podcast listening. I was glued to the news once I got home, especially the NYPD's press conference.
We found no evidence of a break-in at Mahogany's Comedy Club, meaning that the criminal is likely someone that Mr. Blackshaw knew and trusted. Our leading theory is that this was a homicide, and the NYPD already has a list of suspects.
Suspects, meaning us. Me, Austin, and the other comedians we were drinking with. Jack, Carlos Jaworski, Frank Tasca, Kenny Esposito. You all know the list. That's the one thing the internet never got wrong. The cops ended up questioning all of us. They thought the same thing Michelle did. No signs of a break-in. Paranoid, distrusting Dean. Who else could have done it? We were Dean's friends, though. None of us wanted to hurt him, not even Jack, who sided with the social justice warriors from the start. And that note, for the joke. A comic wouldn't kill another comic. They wouldn't kill their friend. Over a joke. Right? Well, that's what I had to find out. So I started asking questions, accusing people, burning bridges. People asked me why I couldn't just leave it to the cops. I'd tell them that I had to find out what happened to my friend. But that wasn't the whole truth. Dean died because he told a really offensive, messed up joke. A joke that hurt a lot of people, destroyed his career, ended his life. A joke that...
They're nice and kind and they keep her safe, give her the therapy she needs, and they even help me out with payments. They're not even going to charge me this month until I get paid for that Boston gig.
I'm so excited for that. Are you doing your current hour?
Some of that stuff, some old stuff. I'm doing all the hits.
Are you doing the candy store bit?
Oh yeah, that always kills.
Oh, that reminds me. I thought of this bit that I can't say, but... No, never mind.
Oh, come on, let me hear it.
No way.
You can't keep it away from me, come on.
Fine. You know when you're walking around and...
Oh my God, Anne-Marie. Oh, who knew you had that in you?
I know, I'm horrible. Cut this whole part out.
We will, if I can use that on stage.
Yes, please, that's why I told you. A joke that I gave him. There, I said it. You happy? It was my joke. I guess Dean's death was all my fault, huh? Finding out who killed him was the least I could do. Dean's Killer Joke is a production of Evagation Media. Please rate and review wherever you listen to podcasts, and follow us on social media at Dean's Killer Joke. Written, directed, and produced by Brandon Rizzuto. Anne-Marie Buchanan is played by me, Jennifer Anderson. Dean Blackshaw is played by Jack Douglas. Michelle Christie is played by Maddie Albrechts. Kevin is played by Silas Emerson Harris. Austin Cooper is played by Benjamin Juris. Announcer and Frank Tasca are played by Ken Petrie. Carla Staworski is played by Caitlin Krieg. Officer Capasso is played by Jay Hazen. Jack Gornez is played by John Carlos Maldonado. Kenny Esposito is played by Exandri Oji. News Reporter is played by Neil Straughter. News Reporter 2 is played by Christina Molina. News Reporter 3 is played by Kyle Bond. Original music and theme music by Tom Rizzuto. Music and sound effects courtesy of Epidemic Sound. Audio editing by Brandon Rizzuto. Podcast cover art and promotional artwork by Sarah Shong.